It's time to call it like I see it before it even happens. This is Mike Said It First. I am Michael Karvelis. That's Michael Karvelis on Twitter if you want to, get at me. On today's show, we're talking sports as always. We're talking Daniel Jones and the Giant expectations after being named the starter. Is Tom Brady better than Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan? Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Who's going to win that game? And Rams Browns. Is it really only going to be a 3-point contest? As always, for today, I'm brought to you by Frost, the generic brand of Frosted Flakes. Because they're not great, but they're really good. And then plus they're like $3 for an entire bag instead of like $3 for a box. I'm kidding. I'm not brought to you by anybody. I'm not cool yet. So, okay. We're picking all the NFL games this week, including some college football games like Michigan, Wisconsin, Auburn, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame, Georgia. So keep that in mind when listening. We're going to do that at the end. But for now, we're going to talk about two topics before we get to the NFL games. So Colin Cowherd, who, by the way, has a really, beautiful daughter, the internet is notorious for finding things about people's families. And at live_Cowherd, that's at LIV_Cowherd, like Colin Cowherd's last name. That is Olivia Cowherd. That is Colin Cowherd's daughter, and she is beautiful. But anyways, that is besides the point. The point is, Colin Cowherd gets on national television he was also on national airways on the radio, which makes this even better because even the old people heard it. So, Tom Brady is better than Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan. And here's the criteria. Now, a little bit of premise here. I'm not huge on hockey. I like the Red Wings. I don't know why. That's just the same reason I like the Miami Heat. I like the flames on the logo. I mean, I guess that's why I like the Red Wings. But I have no idea who Wayne Gretzky even played for. I just know he's by far the best hockey player. Now, here's the knock on Gretzky. Well, Gretzky, he had more. This is what Colin Cowherd said. He has more assists than the next player has goals, which I thought was pretty extraordinary. I didn't even know that. But he could never win without one of his teammates, and I forgot who the teammate was. Michael Jordan, the same thing with Scottie Pippen. And Tom Brady, he's won with everybody. And don't you say this is still Colin Cowherd talking, by the way. This is me imitating him. And don't you say Tom Brady had Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick couldn't win in Cleveland with Drew Bledsoe. What? Hold on. So let me get this straight. Bill Belichick could not win with Drew Bledsoe, who was already about to retire? Darn him. I'm hoping to have a Tom Brady debate here for the first time ever on my podcast. Hopefully this weekend on Sunday, after the games happen. So hopefully that happens with me and this guy named Shane Brooks that contacted me on Twitter, which is pretty cool. Hopefully that works. But Bill Belichick, first of all, nobody wins with the Browns. That's not even fair to Bill. That was way long ago, by the way. Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. Tom Brady has been beaten by the Giants twice. He met a good defense and he couldn't do anything. But he played the Seahawks. No. Pete Carroll played the Seahawks by passing forward on that goal line situation. So don't tell me he played the Legion of Boom, because that was literally the last thing we saw of the Legion of Boom. And they were passing it on the goal line. So no, that's not even how that works. And Michael Jordan may not be LeBron James in my opinion, but he's better than Tom Brady. I will be 23 next month, correct? And I didn't see Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky play live. I have to watch tape, which is okay because I wasn't 4 years old watching the Wizards games, and I'm so glad because I would have laughed and said, who was that guy? But let's get this straight. Tom Brady, who there are numerous videos online of entire game breakdowns where all he has to do is throw it at maximum 2 yards above the line, past the line of scrimmage. Like James White's his running back, who's not even a good running back, he's just a good receiving back, which is really funny that Tom Brady actually needs that. Had like 13 catches in the Super Bowl. That's Mr. Clutch Tom Brady for you. Your running back, who cannot catch a deep pass, I don't even say that, he had 13 dump-offs in one Super Bowl. Are you kidding? There's no way that Tom Brady is a better athlete than Michael Jordan. Well, he's the greatest blob. No. Just, see, I find this interesting that people went from Tom Brady might be the GOAT to Pete Carroll, and I remember this vividly because I was at somebody's house on the floor, and everybody had to go on home because it was getting late and the game was kind of on late, and I'm like, oh, here we go, and they passed the ball and it's intercepted by Malcolm Butler, and at the next day we're talking about Tom Brady the GOAT. I'm like, whoa! I was so confused. The next day. Why was this about Tom Brady and not about Pete Carroll? People don't even realize the next day on sports debate television, I don't know, I think Skip was still with Stephen A. at that point on First Take. They were still talking about Tom Brady. It wasn't until later on that they started talking about Pete Carroll. I mean, this was about Tom Brady? The last thought on people's minds was Pete Carroll choosing to pass the ball when Marshawn Lynch and the Seahawks had already marched down the field. And it was that was the game? That was the game. I don't understand that. Remember, Tom Brady's the guy. It's funny because he reminds me of Cam Newton. Now, why am I putting Tom Brady and Cam Newton in the same breath? No, I get it. It's funny. Like, here goes Michael on another tangent again. But Cam Newton in 2015 had an electric team. Well, had an electric year for himself. Had basically no wide receivers, but he still managed to have a great offense and blah, blah, blah. He goes to the Super Bowl against Von Miller and gets smacked by Von Miller, and Von Miller wins the MVP instead of Cam Newton. Tom Brady is going 18-0, having a better year than Cam before Cam even comes to existence. And Tom Brady gets smacked by the Giants' defensive line. Like, I'm sorry. Tom Brady, for such a great athlete, is being sacked and can't throw under pressure? Guys, people always use the argument with Tom Brady. I'm going to use this against Shane Brooks as well, so be prepared, Shane. Tom Brady, the knock on Bill Belichick is, Brady has never had good receivers. He doesn't need to have good receivers in that system. Nobody even talks about that. The reason why Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan, Philip Dorsett, and all these guys can be good in that system is because they're wide open slot guys who have to run away. They're not Tom Brady does not throw possession deep balls. Big Ben and Jared Goff throw better deep passes than Tom Brady. And I'm not even a Jared Goff fan. I think Brady's better than Goff. But to actually say that Tom Brady is the best when you need slot receivers who have to break away so they can be wide, stinking open? That's your athlete? And by the way, I know I don't watch hockey to save my life, although I do kind of root for the Las Vegas Golden Knights because I just like as an expansion team, it was like the first team I ever really hooked on. Tom Brady couldn't play hockey. I would put more faith in LeBron, Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan playing hockey than I would saying Tom Brady could. I would put better faith in Wayne Gretzky throwing a ball to Julian Edelman and Chris Hogan and Philip Dorsett in a wide open hole more than I'd rather see him as a quarterback than I see Tom Brady on skates. Okay. This has got to stop about these quarterbacks are such great athletes, okay? Cam Newton is a better athlete than Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick for a reason. He has been about a 3rd-round pick in my eyes, but to say he's just the cream, that's it. It's Tom Brady. No, get your 6 rings out of your butts, people. I'm tired of hearing the ring arguments. The reason why nobody says Bill Russell is the greatest is because they weren't alive when Bill Russell was around. These old guys, they're like 50s and 60s, and yes, I'm calling 50 years old. Those guys saw Michael Jordan, so of course they're going to say Jordan was better than Russell. But then they're going to hear, oh, well, Russell, there was only 12 teams, so that means Michael Jordan was better because he had 30 teams. But screw that. You saw Michael Jordan play. That's why you like him. Bill Russell was 11-1, so this whole rings argument is stupid. And Tom Brady being 6-3 that's it. That's why I think LeBron is better from they were talking basketball. I'm using the rings argument here. You do not have to have a bunch of rings to be the greatest. It's just not fair. It's not fair to people who have played the game at a high level and get no rings because of circumstances. Context matters, and that's not fair because Tom Brady has 6 rings. All of a sudden, he's the greatest, and that's it. 6 rings. What? What does that mean? He's had one head coach for 20 years, and Bill Belichick was so bad because this is what people say about Bill Belichick. He was trash with the Browns. Well, is that why Mike McCarthy was fired by the Packers and Bill Belichick has not been fired yet? Is this why? Because last time I checked, Tom Brady has needed Bill Belichick as much as Bill Belichick has needed Tom Brady. That should not be your GOAT. That's not right. But to go on the second limb on another tree and say, well, he's just better than Gretzky and Jordan is stupid. There's still a debate whether he's the greatest quarterback or greatest NFL player, and we're going to put him on Jordan and Gretzky's level? Come on, people. But your daughter was hot, Colin Coward. Anyways, okay. Time to settle down here. Daniel Jones, it's happening. So Daniel Jones has been named the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. And I'm like, okay, my credibility, this is it, baby. Like, this is the whole, all off season, I was scouting quarterbacks, and I saw, boy, this Daniel Jones guy is really good. But I heard that Dwayne Haskins was better. And then Jones got drafted 6th by the Giants, and there was all these blooper reels about how Giants fans, no, we wanted Haskins. And then, like, in the preseason, Daniel Jones was electric, but it's just the preseason. I'm like, okay, keep the same energy. Well, it's happening. Daniel Jones is going to start the game against the Buccaneers. I will get to that in a moment. So far, via ESPN Pigskin Pick'em, where you can pick every single game, 21% of the Giants should win against the Buccaneers on the road. I'll tell you what I think about that and who I think is going to win. Also, the score of that game. But I'm not going to get to that yet. I'm also going to talk about how Eli Manning, I want to give credit to his professionalism. Like, this dude, you cannot not like Eli Manning. Like, it is impossible. Eli Manning is benched after week 2. Where there's all this hype that Daniel Jones isn't very good and he pretty much sucks. Your owner says, oh, we want Eli to start the entire year, and you have one decent game in week 2, and all this against the Bills defense, and you're benched. And Eli could not have been more professional yesterday when talking to the press. But he's not a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He will be a Hall of Famer by default. That's another podcast. But Eli has been one of the most professional players of all time. The Mannings are just class personified, okay? And it's time to shine, Daniel Jones. It's time, not only for my credibility, but for your sake, and for that dang New York media and those stupid fans who thought Porzingis was going to be a bust. The only thing he's busted is a you-know-what on some prostitute. But he's been really good, despite an injury. But it's time to shine, Daniel Jones. We'll see what I think about that game. Okay, let's go to our NFL games for the week. I don't know. I've been going on for 15 minutes about nonsense. So, Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight, actually, on Thursday Night Football. My guy Gardner Minshew II, a.k.a. Cashew is what I call him. I believe Cashew will be better than Week 2 because I told you guys I felt like that the Texans' defensive line was going to kind of get to Cashew a little bit, and they lost 12-13. Doug Marrone, you are a fool. That's none of my business. Jalen Ramsey will play tonight, and I don't think that makes a difference because I believe Derrick Henry will have 2 touchdowns, and that will give him 5 on the year. He's at 3 right now. He had 1 last week, like I said he would, so Mike said it first there. But I believe Henry will have 2 touchdowns, and Titans will win a slugfest 20-14. It's Thursday. I mean, come on. Nobody's watching Titans and Jaguars, but I will for the sake of argument. 20-14, Titans on the road. Dolphins at the Cowboys. Not much to talk about, except I do say Dak throws 2 touchdowns, maybe rushes for a third. I've got the Cowboys to win, scoring 31 points, but I've got the Dolphins to score their first touchdown of the season because Cowboys defense might be a little bit vulnerable. I got 31-7. So all they get is 7, but I'll do 31-7. And I believe I took the over in that one because I think the over-under is 22. The line is 22.5, and I've got a 24-point win. So I'm going Dolphins 31-7. I'm a Cowboys. Woo! Mike said it last. Cowboys 31-7 at home. Bengals at the Bills. Josh White, Vic Allen will have 2 touchdowns in some form or another. Bengals defense will be okay, but just okay is not okay with AT&T. Bills win 27-17. Not much to talk about with that game. Lions at the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 6.5. I believe the Detroit Lions have played 2 okay teams. The Lions played the Cardinals, and Kyler Murray was okay, was pretty good, but Kyler Murray's team is not very good. And to blow that kind of a lead and go into overtime and tie is pretty bad at home. The next week when you're at home, you play the Chargers without Melvin Gordon, and you beat the Chargers 13-10. And I like Matt Patricia's defense. I said I did, but I just don't see you guys beating the Eagles coming off the way they just lost the Falcons on the road. I've got Eagles to win 28-17 pretty handily. Now 28 might be generous because that defense of the Lions I believe is going to hold up a little bit. So maybe 27-17, but 24 touchdowns is a lot. I'm still going 28-17 Eagles. Jets at the Patriots. Listen, Luke Falk is starting for the Jets. I liked what I saw from him. He was a little bit inaccurate, but I said in the last podcast, he was better than I thought he could be. I didn't see much of him at Washington State, if anything, and he looked poised. That being said, he's playing Bill Belichick's defense, and this team is nuts right now, albeit the Steelers and the Dolphins. But Luke Falk, I believe, will throw at least 1 interception. So I'm putting the low 1 interception. He might throw 2, maybe throw 3. I'm going to say at least 1 interception to be safe. Tom Brady will throw 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown will have 6 catches with a touchdown as well. And Patriots will win 27-10. Although Jets have to be competitive, but they're not going to be too competitive with Luke Falk. I believe they're going to make Luke Falk do a lot of dumping down, and Patriots defense is going to get to him. Falcons at the Colts. Actually, I'm going to save that one for later. Raiders at the Vikings. I've got the Vikings to win 24-13. I'm not a fan of Derek Carr. Not a fan of the Raiders this year. They fought hard the first 2 weeks, but the Vikings they're too good defensively to not win this game handily. 24-13. Ravens at the Chiefs in a shootout. I'm going to save that one for the end as well. Broncos and the Packers. I believe Joe Flacco will throw 1 interception, maybe 2, but I'm just going to say 1 for now because he does a lot of dump-offs to Emmanuel Sanders, and I love Emmanuel Sanders, by the way. He had 11 catches last week. Aaron Rodgers will throw for 2 touchdowns, and Packers will win 27-14. Broncos away for Mile High are not as good. So I've got Packers 27-14. Panthers at the Cardinals in a 4:05 to be exact game. Cam Newton is now questionable with a foot injury. So remember you people that say, his shoulder's messed up. Well, no, it's his foot. And this guy, he's so athletic, but whatever. I've actually got the Cardinals to win this game 23-17. I think Kyler Murray is good enough to get a W. He's good for like 3 wins on the season. I think this is one of them. Panthers are not very good to me. Cam Newton is really bad. I just said Cardinals 23-17. I think they have a lot of pride. Giants at the Buccaneers. We're going to save that one for the last one. So I got 3 games I'm going to postpone here. 4:25 game, Saints at the Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 4. Teddy Bridgewater, I believe, will throw 1 touchdown, maybe rush for another, if that happens. But again, by the way, Taysom Hill. So I believe Teddy will have 1 touchdown. Taysom Hill, I like him better than Teddy. But they're both kind of average, like above average, maybe, if that. They're going to do a lot of dump-offs for Teddy. I think Taysom Hill's going to have more of a different offense. I think if the game is close in the first half in Seattle, I feel like Taysom Hill's going to come in the second half and make it, just do a lot of crazy stuff. But like I said, they're not going to let Teddy throw, although I think he should. Russell Wilson is going to have 2 touchdowns one way or another. And Seahawks are going to win 24-10. And maybe more than that. Texans at the Chargers. You know what? Let me scratch that. I said Seahawks 24-10. I'll go Seahawks 27-14. Okay, I'll give the Saints 1 more touchdown because I believe Taysom Hill will find a way to get into the end zone. I believe the second half they're just going to have a bunch of crazy stuff because he always does like the Wildcat and stupid stuff like that. So might catch the Seahawks off guard, but by that point I believe 27-14 is good enough. Texans at the Chargers. Deshaun Watson, he'll throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and will be sacked at least twice. I think Chargers defense will make it closer than it has to be. Chargers, though, have struggled the first 2 weeks against the Colts, who have turned out to be okay. And I feel like Chargers against the Lions was pretty ugly. Chargers at home, I get it, but Texans on the road, 27-21. I'm putting too much faith into Deshaun Watson, but dang it, here we are. 27-21 Texans. Steelers and the 49ers. 49ers favored by 6.5. Mason Rudolph will throw for 2 touchdowns. I believe this game would be a shootout if Big Ben was playing. I think Jimmy G throws for 3 touchdowns, and 49ers will win 20-17 over the Steelers. Sunday Night Football on NBC. We'll save that game as well. I'm sorry. Bears favored by 4 against the Redskins. Trubisky will throw for 180 yards. Now, granted, he threw for 120 last week. I'll say he goes about 180, 190 this week. But I'm buying what Adrian Peterson said. This team might be, better than what people say. Now, 16% of you say the Redskins actually win this game. I'm going Redskins 17-14. Listen, I'm going to eat so much dirt sandwiches for this. But I just have a feeling Matt Nagy's offense is just not working. Do I take the Redskins in this game? I'm thinking about this game. It's hard for me to pick the Bears. To not pick the Bears. But the Redskins have put up 2 decent fights. I'm sorry. I'm changing my pick. I'm going 20-17 Bears. I think Eddie Pinheiro might kick 3 field goals in this game. I'll pick the Bears to win, but Redskins, that scares me. I'm sorry. Monday Night Football in D.C. kind of scares me. I don't think they have any home field advantage, but you get it. Okay. Let's get to those games I didn't talk about, and for good reason, because they're the best games on the schedule. Falcons at the Colts. Listen, okay, I'm conflicted. I live in Savannah, Georgia, roughly, and I'm a Colts fan. My first Super Bowl was watching Peyton Manning dismantle the Bears 29-17 in 2006. Matt Ryan will throw an interception, though I'm not buying it, but I'll say Matt Ryan throws an interception. He'll throw for 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett will throw for 2 touchdowns, and he might throw an interception. I would put Matt Ryan throwing an interception more than I put Jacoby Brissett, because of the way the offense works. And I'm picking, as stupid as this sounds, the Falcons were down 28-0 on the road. We're 21-0 entering the fourth quarter against the Vikings. This team is the waste management on the road. I'm picking my Colts to win 24-21 despite Andrew Luck watching from his couch. Yeah, so Colts win 24-21. I have a feeling the Colts are going to pull this one out. Falcons could blow us out of the water, but we're going to go with the Colts. I'm firm in my convictions. Okay. So, Ravens at the Chiefs, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. This is going to be a fun game. I think Ravens have enough to, score with them. But if I'm being honest, I'm going 31 Chiefs. Just out of respect of Ravens defense. I'm going 31 Chiefs, and I'm going to pick 20. Should I go 7 or 8? I'm going to go 31-27 Chiefs over the Ravens. I feel like Mark Ingram is kind of banged up. Not really, but he's banged up enough. I believe the Chiefs defense will be okay. But both quarterbacks will throw for 3 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes might throw for 4, but bite me. I've got Chiefs winning 31-27. Okay. Giants at the Buccaneers, my street cred kind of game. By default, you might see I'm picking Daniel Jones. And by default, you are right, baby! Woo! Okay, maybe I'm riding this train a bit too much. But in my career of doing quarterbacks, I honestly want to say it's been tough, okay? But I'm usually like decently right about these guys. And I'm so convinced that Daniel Jones is the guy. I'm giving Daniel Jones 2 touchdowns. I almost said 1 turnover, but I'll say 1 turnover. I'm going to say 2 touchdowns and 1 turnover. I'm not going to say a fumble and interception. But I'm going to say 1 turnover for Daniel Jones with 2 touchdowns, and Giants will win it 20-17 against the Buccaneers, because I feel like Cam Newton's team, although they have Christian McCaffrey, I feel like Saquon could break off a run in Tampa Bay. Like, Tampa Bay is not a tough place to play. Jameis Winston is not very good. And I also feel like Cam Newton, as bad as he was in position to win the game. Giants 20, Buccaneers 17. You eat it, boy. And finally, the Rams are favored by 3 against the Browns in Cleveland. Baker will throw guaranteed 1 interception. That means he might throw more. This game will not be worthy of Sunday Night Football. I've got the Rams to win 31-20. 20 is out of respect of the Browns hype machine. But I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, I haven't bought it all offseason. I'm not buying it now. I've got the Rams to win 31-20. This team's going to be on a tear because they scored 3 points in the Super Bowl. I think the Browns' defense has not been as good as I thought it would be. Rams go in and take the dub. I believe they'll give the Rams 30 points in like 3 straight games, which will be pretty good. We're going with the Rams by 11. By a level! Okay, that's it for me. By the way, the Colts, only 29% of you picked them. Giants, only 21%. And Texans, only 41%. Yet here I am. And there you go. Y'all have a blessed one, as they say in my hometown. No, I'm out, guys. It's about 30 minutes. We got about 20 seconds left in this bench. So, it's, again, Colin Coward, your daughter's beautiful. Your take is not. Come on, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, better than Wayne. People are so sad. Let's have a prayer as we end this podcast. Amen.